In this devotional, I'm going to share with you 3 thoughts from Psalm 98, verses 1 through 3, where we are going to discuss the work of salvation. Psalm 98, verses 1 through 3 says, "O sing to the Lord a new song, for he has done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm have worked salvation for him. The Lord has made known his salvation. He has revealed his righteousness in sight of the nations. He has remembered his steadfast love and faithfulness to the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God." If we are going to talk about the work of salvation, we have to talk about the work that the Lord is doing. The reason we have to do that is because salvation belongs to the Lord. It is the Lord who brings about salvation for all who are being saved. There is no one who is saved outside of the Lord and his mighty work in reconciling a sinful people to his holy self. Here are 3 thoughts on the work of salvation from Psalm 98, verses 1 through 3. Thought number 1, God saves. It is God who does the saving. And this is something that we all need to know. We need to know that it is God who saves us and none other. It is only God who has sufficient power and authority to save any of his creation. It is God who brings about the salvation of the sinner, and he does so with his might, with his power, and with his authority. Thought number 2, God proclaims salvation. The salvation that God works out for his people is proclaimed by God. He is the one who is making all of this known. He makes this known through natural and supernatural means. He makes this known in the ordinary by people proclaiming what God has done. But he also makes this known through his mighty acts. It's when people see what God is doing. It's when they see this salvation that he is working out that this is ultimately proclaimed. God proclaims salvation and proclaims the concept that salvation is something that is possible, that we can be made right with him, and that he is doing so by virtue of his graciousness and his loving kindness. Thought number 3, all have seen it. The entire world has seen the salvation of the Lord. There is no one who is not at least partially aware of this great salvation that God is working out among creation. It is so pervasively proclaimed that no one has the right or the ability to assume that it isn't happening. Everyone, the entire world, has seen God work out his salvation for his people. And because he has done this, he is glorified over and above all others. Everyone has seen a glimpse of this great work of salvation that God has done. They've seen it in the abstract, or they've seen it happen in real life. They've seen it in the history of God's people, or they've seen it in things that are happening to them each and every day. All the world is aware of God. All the world is aware of his work of salvation that he is performing. It is in the mind of all people. And because of that, there is no one who has an excuse before him. There is no one who has a reason to find fault with him, because he has made it known to all the world. These three thoughts come to you from the assigned reading of Psalms 96 through 98. If you'd like to read through the Bible with me, you can do so by joining the Facebook group Through the Bible, where we are reading the text of Scripture together.